The eyes of the world are on Geneva. Top economic officials from the United States and China are meeting there. The goal? To talk trade. These aren't just any talks. They are happening against a backdrop of simmering tensions. The stakes are incredibly high. The global economy is on edge. Businesses are nervous. Everyone wants to know, can the two superpowers find common ground? The world is waiting with bated breath. The outcome of these talks could have major implications for everyone. The US and China are the world's two largest economies. When they sneeze, the rest of the world catches a cold. These talks are about much more than just tariffs. They are about the future of the global economic order. The talks are taking place at a critical juncture. The world is still reeling from the COVID-19 pandemic. The war in Ukraine has added to the uncertainty. The last thing the global economy needs is a trade war between its two biggest players. The trade war between the US and China didn't happen overnight. It has been brewing for years. It all started under the Trump administration. The US imposed tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods. China retaliated with tariffs of its own. The tariffs were initially imposed on a limited number of goods, but they quickly escalated. Soon, almost all goods traded between the two countries were subject to tariffs. The tariffs had a significant impact on both economies. Businesses faced higher costs. Consumers had to pay more for goods. The trade war also created uncertainty. Businesses didn't know what to expect. They were reluctant to invest and hire. This hurt economic growth in both countries. The Biden administration has kept most of the tariffs in place. The two sides have held talks over the years, but they have failed to reach a lasting agreement. The Geneva talks are the latest attempt to resolve the trade war, but expectations are low. The trade war between the United States and China is having a ripple effect across the globe. It's like a heavyweight boxing match and everyone else is getting caught in the crossfire. The tariffs are disrupting global supply chains. These intricate networks of production and distribution are being thrown into disarray. Businesses around the world are feeling the pain. They rely on Chinese imports for everything from raw materials to finished products. The tariffs are increasing their costs and squeezing their profit margins. Consumers are also feeling the pinch. The tariffs are driving up the prices of goods from smartphones to clothing. This is contributing to inflation, which is already a problem in many countries. The trade war is also fueling uncertainty and volatility in global markets. Investors are nervous. Businesses are hesitant to make long-term plans. This is bad news for global economic growth. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has warned that the trade war is a major risk to the global economy. Section 4, a glimmer of hope on the horizon. So, are there any reasons to be optimistic about the Geneva talks? Well, it's a start. The fact that the two sides are talking is a positive sign. It shows that they are at least willing to try to find a solution. However, expectations for a major breakthrough are low. Analysts believe the initial discussions will likely focus on understanding each side's demands and establishing a framework for future negotiations. It's a bit like trying to solve a complicated jigsaw puzzle. The first step is to find the edge pieces and figure out the big picture. The US wants China to address its concerns about unfair trade practices. This includes things like intellectual property theft and forced technology transfer. China, on the other hand, wants the US to remove the tariffs. It also wants the US to treat it as an equal partner in the global trading system. Section 5, the long road to de-escalation. Even if the two sides can agree on a framework for future negotiations, the road to de-escalation will be long and winding. There are deep-seated mistrust and fundamental differences between the two countries. It's like trying to navigate a minefield. One wrong step could blow everything up. However, both the US and China have strong incentives to de-escalate the trade war. The tariffs are hurting both of their economies. They are also damaging their relationship, which is important for addressing global challenges such as climate change and pandemics. As Eswar Prasad, former director of the IMF's China division, put it, both the US and China have strong economic and financial interests in de-escalating their trade hostilities, but a durable détente is hardly in the offing. The key to de-escalation is finding a way to address each other's concerns without losing face. This will require compromise and creativity from both sides. Section 6. The world watches and waits. The world is watching the Geneva talks closely. Economists, investors, and businesses around the globe are anxiously awaiting the outcome. The talks are taking place at a time of great uncertainty and volatility. The global economy is still recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic. The war in Ukraine has added to the uncertainty. A trade war between the US and China is the last thing the global economy needs right now. The stakes are incredibly high. The outcome of the talks will have far-reaching implications for the global economy. If the talks are successful, it could lead to a period of greater stability and prosperity. However, if the talks fail, it could trigger a new wave of protectionism and uncertainty. The world is holding its breath.